Hey guys, I'm really excited to sit down and film this video with you today. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Marc Jacobs 24-Hour Shameless Youth Foundation. So for me, I don't really like to wear heavy foundation. I'm not really a huge fan of full coverage foundation. I'm not wearing anything right now. This is just my bare skin. Like, I have a few problems going on right here. Like, I have a pimple that just decided to show up. She wasn't invited to the party, but whatever. She won't crash it. But anyways, as you can see, my skin is not really too bad. I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation still going on, but as far as like actual active breakouts that I need to conceal, my skin's pretty good about that. I don't really have terrible under eyes. When I saw this foundation pop up on the Sephora website, I knew that I had to try it. So this is the Shameless Youthful 24-Hour Foundation. I use the shade 370Y or Y370, whatever you call it, which let me tell you, I swatched it in store on my hand and it was the perfect foundation when it's swatched. But then I'm driving home and I didn't really clean it off too well from my hand and I'm seeing it and it's still oxidizing and it's getting darker and I'm sitting here freaking out like, oh my gosh, wait, I thought I had my perfect match and now it's like a little too dark and I'm just like, gotta throw the whole thing out because I was excited to get it. But then, so I came home and before I even opened the package, because I was just ready to go back to Sephora and return it right away, I just hopped on YouTube and I typed in, you know, the foundation and the shade and I hopped on and I see my girl Desi Perkins do her little video and you know, that's her shade. So I was like, okay, if that's Desi's color, then that's definitely my color. This is the actual packaging that the foundation comes in. As you can see, it's just, I really like this shape. It's like so sleek and like, it's a very simple look, but it's so sleek and elegant at the same time, you know what I'm saying? The actual applicator is more of a dropper instead of a pump or a bottle, which is okay. It's not a super watery foundation, but it's definitely runnier than some of the other foundations I use, but it still doesn't like flow out. So that's good because I was kind of afraid about just losing product when I would try to use it, but that doesn't seem to be an issue. This is the actual package that the thing itself came in. So as you can see, it's very bare minimal. On the front just says Marc Jacobs. On the back, it just has, you know, the information you need. And then you actually, the shade isn't indicated on the front. The shade's actually indicated on the top. So as you can see there, I am medium Y370. This here is a 24-hour foundation. I'll probably come back and do a wear test or something sometime in the future. I'm gonna start off with a primer. Now, it's still sunny out, so I'm gonna put on a primer with SPF, but I'm not going to use the one that I used in my past video. I'm going to use this sample that Sephora gave me, and it's just this Unseen Sunscreen Broad Protection Primer. Speaking of sunscreen, this does have an SPF of 25, and I want to say for both of these, but especially this because this is what the review about, but these both have chemical only UV filters, so if you have skin that is more like sensitive to those kind of sunscreens, this might not be the foundation for you because this is chemical only. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and apply our primer. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply the whole thing because I would rather apply too much SPF than not enough, especially considering, you know, SPF is good at preventing wrinkles. It can help with acne. It's good with helping hyperpigmentation spots to go away. There's literally just no reason why you guys shouldn't be wearing SPF, at least not like on your face and neck. So as you can see here, it's kind of like a gel. It almost kind of reminds you of like beeswax or honey. It's just kind of like a gel. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit all over my face. It's really thick. It is not coming off. It's really weird. It like has a smell, but it doesn't. I can't explain it. Oh, that is silky. Okay. When I do the under eyes, I like to just go ahead and take my ring fingers, the tip of my ring fingers, because those are the fingers with the least pressure, and just gently, with almost no pressure, almost like you're just like lighting the product on your skin, but you're not actually applying any pressure. I actually don't hate this primer. As you can see, my skin is still very dewy, but it's not, you know how sunscreens, especially chemical sunscreens, tend to be really greasy? It's not greasy, it's just really dewy. It had a very silky feel when I was rubbing it in. It makes my skin feel really nice. So now I'm gonna go ahead and apply the actual foundation. I'm gonna be looking at what I'm doing here in the mirror on my compact, but I'm gonna show you guys. In all my makeup videos so far that I've filmed, I've used a beauty blender to blend everything in, but I'm actually going to be using this EcoTools foundation brush just to kind of show you the coverage with this. This is kind of like a sheer to light coverage sort of product. When you use a brush, I feel like foundations just have a way more full coverage look, and I do want to show you just how little product you need to use with this to get your skin looking flawless. And I'm also going to be doing my face in parts because this is a 24-hour foundation, so when it dries, it locks in place. It doesn't budge. Like when she's clocked in, honey, she's going to work. So like I said, I'm gonna do all my face bit by bit. I'm gonna do my forehead and nose and each of my cheeks, and then this area here, and then lastly my neck. So before I actually apply the foundation, I'm gonna shake it up really well. When I first went to use it this morning, it was kind of runny. It was almost just like, you know that like ketchup piss. I don't really know what it's called, but you know that liquid that comes out of the ketchup bottle when you don't shake it up before you apply it? That's how it came out a little bit, and I was a little scared. I was thinking that's how the whole foundation was gonna be, but if you shake it up, it gets a little bit thicker in consistency. So I'm just gonna take the brush after I've shaken it up and just apply 3 drops. I want you guys to see literally how little foundation that is. That is nothing. And then I'm just gonna apply it straight in the middle of the forehead and just apply a little bit on the nose and start working it in. So as you can see, there's the forehead. Everything just looks a little bit more smooth and even up here. And as you can see, it's actually not too bad of a color match. It is a little bit warmer compared to my skin, but it just kind of gives it a healthy glow. It doesn't look like you're wearing makeup. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and do the cheeks. So for each cheek, I like to do 2 drops on the brush. Do you guys see this coverage? My hyperpigmentation spots kind of peek through a little bit, as you can see right here, but they almost are invisible and it's just really skin-like. And as you can see on my nose, my freckles still do pop through a little bit. So I really like this foundation. It really does even out my skin and give it a nice color and glow. Like, I actually don't really like the perfect skin look. I don't mind, you know, just a little bit of imperfections peeking through. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the other cheek. It looks a little shiny on camera. I wouldn't call it like a dewy finish, but it's definitely not matte, as you can tell. I would definitely classify this as a satin finish, but I think the camera's giving it a little bit too much justice. I'm gonna do the 2 areas right here underneath the lips. I just take 1 dot for those areas and just apply a little bit on both sides. And then just to make sure everything is seamless, I'm gonna apply a little bit to my neck as well. So since the neck is a fairly large area to cover compared to the rest of the areas that I covered, I'm just gonna go ahead and do 3 drops here as well. Alright, and that's how it looks when I've applied it all over my face. It's still setting a bit, so this isn't quite how it's gonna end up looking, but as you can see, it's actually not too bad of a color match. It's just maybe a little warmer than my skin tone, but like I said, it just kind of gives me a glow. It doesn't really throw off the rest of my skin. And as I said, this is more of a satin finish despite how it's coming across on camera. I actually wore this earlier today, and I will say it was about like 80 degrees, really humid, blah, 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 the whole 9 yards. It actually held up pretty well, so I'm actually just gonna take my e.l.f. shimmer stick in the shade Dewy. But as you can see, she's glowing and it's very natural and skin-like. Let me hit that upper lip too. And now to just top everything off, I'm gonna take my Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel and just brush through my brows. So that's the finished look. So as you can see, outside the areas that I highlighted, it is a very nice sheer finish. It has a great natural coverage, but it still kind of covers everything. I really just love this product. I'm very glad that I broke down and bought it because I was kind of torn when I saw the price. You know, I was really excited to buy it when I saw it on the website, but then I saw the price and I was like, this is my first true, I would say, high-end foundation. It's definitely the most expensive foundation I bought. I think the one I got from Milk Makeup a while ago, the Sunshine Skin Tint, I believe it's called, that one was $42 and this was $46. And this is more of like a prestige brand, whereas Milk Makeup is like, no tea, no shade. Like, I'm not saying it's not, you know, a good brand, but it's not a Marc Jacobs, it's not a Giorgio Armani, it's not a Dior, you know what I'm saying? So this is the first high-end product I got, and I'm actually really happy with my purchase. I like the finish it gives. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll be back with more content in the future. Be sure to follow me on Instagram over here. Hope to see you guys shortly in my next video. Bye.